back to the fence, and that's gone.
There it is. Ace to win the set. It's caught. 20-10 touchdown.
This is going to be in the gap.
Yes! Score! Go to the deflection. The Ann Arbor Huskies win their first state championship.
Good evening and welcome to Brooklyn Park and the renovated Noble Park here. My name is Jim Childs. I'm joined with the one and only Joe Rulin tonight as we start our voyage through Town Ball and the Metro Minnie as the Champlin Park Logators come in, and they'll be hosting the Anoka Bucs, a member. Both teams are members of the QCTV network and viewing area, and so we've got a great one here tonight, Joe. After watching the exciting game last night with Anoka in the state tournament, now we get to another game between Anoka and the Logators. Great week for baseball.
It is, and you also, with this year, with the Metro Minnie, and also since the Blaine Fusion team is no longer in existence, you have some additional talent available for a lot of the teams here locally. And I'll tell you, Champlin Park, a team, the Logators, who ended up second in the state last year, will reload. Meanwhile, the Bucs, an outstanding season. I know they defeated Cold Spring, the Springers, in the first round of the state tourney also. So both of them geared up, ready to go, and tons of talent as we get a look at the Bucs starting lineup and head coach J.D. Wells.
Yeah, leading off will be the third baseman, Zane Vintens, and Tillman, Nelson, Fredenberg, Piero, and Eldridge Wells. He's batting third, the first baseman. Hoffman will be the catcher tonight, and Hunter Smith, one of the catchers, one of the coaches, and also he'll be at second base for the Bucs tonight. Out in the field for the Logators.
You got it. We got in center field Reed Connolly, of course Ryan Bruns in left field, Robert Hogan in right field, followed by Derek Heldman at short, Bryce Nelson at third. Matt Merrick is behind the dish along with Signs, and then Andrew Hansen is throwing his first pitch of the game.
Yeah, tonight, Shane Vitance comes in here, and we'll get you the correct defensive chart in a second. Merrick's behind the plate, and Hogan is on the mound. The Texas A&M product out of Mounds View. He is on the mound, and he'll be with, according to Matt Merrick, he'll be with the squad until he's possibly placed on one of the college deals. And there's a single off the second baseman, and a nice play to keep it in front of him, but unable to make the play. That's Nelson. And Joe, nice start for the Tents.
You bet it. And get themselves going here, and Vitence leads it off. Looking at now Nate Tillman. Tillman steps in, and a good productive season. But again, they're all just getting their feet underneath them here just early in the season, hitting .353 so far.
Tillman, the shortstop, batting second. Matt Merrick, longtime Logator manager, is going to be joining us along with J.D. Wells during the broadcast tonight. Strike as it's a one-on-one count right now on Tillman. Tillman, right-handed batter. He's close to that plate. Hogan with the pitch. That one hits him. And
a few verbal exchanges across the teams here. And
yeah.
You said he was standing close, and he owned that inside of the plate. And unfortunately, the Logators pitcher said, I own that inside of the plate.
Well, and, now Tillman owns first base. And that brings up Lucas Nelson. Nelson, the right fielder. Looking at both of these rosters, both these teams made it to state last year. You mentioned that Blaine no longer is defunct, also made it to state. So 3 teams from the Metro Minny in the state tournament for Class B last year.
Well, last night we had a chance to call from CHS as the Tornadoes took a tough loss to the Edina Hornets in the bottom of the 8th. That's a great venue. I've enjoyed this, and we're going to get a look at it a little bit later on, but the press box that they've put in here, it just really enhances the experience for both the viewers, but the broadcasters, PA, but also those coming here to watch the fans as well. To me, it kind of adds that exclamation point to a stadium.
Yeah, it really does. It's they're not done yet. They've still got some improvements to do, according to Matt Merrick. But what an improvement! This grandstand press box. They've rebuilt the warning tracks, the dugouts. It's an impressive facility. 2 home teams here, really 1 home team, and that's the Champlin Logators. There's no high school team. The high school plays, and the Legion team plays at the high school, which is another beautiful complex. It was just updated a couple years ago. Here comes a 2-2 pitch to Tillman. Strike right on the outside. He painted that corner beautifully. Hogan did. Fastball. Good call by Merrick. And that's 1 down so far for the Bucs. And that'll bring up Fredenberg.
I love this angle.
Yeah.
Jim, I just enjoy being right behind the catcher, talking about Matt Merrick. I mean, he can't hear us, but we can talk about him. But he'll be up here to join us. You can see that ball spin, you get the movement, the activity, and there you can see some great velo on that first strike.
You think about it, Fredenberg, who we mentioned last night on the broadcast, part of that 2015 Anoka State Tournament team, has been part of the Bucs, was played down at DTCTC down in Rosemont.
On deck circle, getting ready is Logan Piero. Getting set here and getting some looks off of Hogan. Hogan breaking pitch here, and that's just off the plate, Jim. That was some good movement.
Yes, it certainly was. And Hogan has entered the transfer portal, kind of undecided where he's going to be this next year. Got into a couple games in Texas A&M. I think by some of the people.
Good block there by Merrick.
Yeah, it's good block, but really a great read by Vitens to get down to third. It'll be first and third with 1 out right now.
And just having a little trouble locating some of the off speed. Hates to just sit on that fastball, but we'll get a look as a few people here tracking some velo. Some of the radar guns in the stands here tonight.
And there's a strike right there. A second strikeout for Hogan as Fredenberg goes down. Logan Piero comes up. You had mentioned, Joe, the DH. Piero.
You could just look at this fastball. More of a cutter break on that thing. It's nonetheless overpowered the hitter that time.
Piero waiting for the first pitch. That's a fastball on the inside part of the plate. We'll see. Let's kind of see if Tillman takes off.
Keep an eye here as
Merrick, who's still got some hop behind the plate. Tillman takes a couple of steps. There's a couple of fastballs on the inside part of the plate. Good start. You get one of those and then you drop a curveball in here. It's 1-2. But instead it's 2-0 right now.
Piero getting himself set and a good look at this at bat.
That curveball down. He's got a good breaking pitch in that one. We saw Fredenberg strike out on the same pitch.
That's a filthy pitch,
yep.
Jim. My goodness. You don't stand a chance with it because it looks like a Good looking fastball coming right at you.
Oh, another strike. Ball was up a little bit. Tillman took off. He began to run and stopped. I don't know if he thought that Hogan was going to pick him off or have a pick off. We'll see right here. 2-2 count to Piero. And he checks it.
Ooh, all right. He gets to play another pitch as he checked his swing, did Piero. He went back with that slider. Started in the middle of the plate and ended up, I think he just comes straight fastball here, dead red. With a full count, Jim.
Here comes a pitch from Hogan and grounded out to Hoyer.
Yes, plenty of time.
Bruns with a throw over to Conley. Conley makes the scoop, and that'll do it for the Bucs. They leave 2 and fail to score on 2 walks.
Got it, getting those first 2 hitters on, and I thought that looked like Bruns at third, as you and I were kind of getting some late updates on lineup changes and everything else. It looks like fog out there, but boy, it is just been an interesting day, kind of an ominous feel with the smoke present from the time as you wake up, and but it's a great way here tonight. It's have some great baseball here as we get a look at the starting lineup here for the Logators, and hitting will be Andrew Hansen leading off, playing left field. Adam Pooter, shortstop, batting second. Drake Signs in right field, batting third, and Matt Merrick, the catcher, and the manager, batting fourth, Bryce Nelson. At second, he is batting fifth, followed by Derek Heldman, Ryan Bruns, Reed Conley, and then pitching, of course, is Robert Hogan, but the DH here in that capacity will be Hewer.
Yeah, good lineup right now. And looking out in on the outfield, Fredenberg, Eldridge, and Lucas out in the outfield. Around the Vincennes, Tillman, Hunter Smith, J.D. Wells, and Hoffman. And Austin Lang is actually on the hill tonight for the Bucs tonight. So Austin Lang will start out. Lang comes in with 3 starts so far. He's got 16.1 innings, a whip of 1.35, and an ERA of 1.1. So strong, 25 strikeouts in 16.1 at bats. The lefty up against Andrew Hansen right now.
Well, the squad comes in this year for the Logators, hitting a team average of .377. Of course, everyone's still knocking the dust off. As we get a look here, Hansen already 37 plate appearances this year, hitting .455. And here's a key thing to remember: 16 stolen bases. He's only been caught once this year.
Pitch. There's a nice changeup right there by Lang. Lang able to keep that all down. So
a lefty there tries to misses with that fastball. The counter's there.
2 strikes here on Hansen. And strike 3. Good start for Lang as he's able to strike out the first one.
Looking at the southpaw, went up top, got him to chase the cheese and climb the ladder. Swung on and missed there.
Adam Pooter will come up. He's going to be hitting off to St. Thomas. Blaine High School grad.
Pooter already with his 4th game, 15 at bats, hitting .583. Comes in with 3 walks and a couple of stolen bases.
2 balls right now on Pooter from Lang.
Pretty good high school player, and boy, he'll definitely contribute at St. Thomas.
Brother Jack is at Duluth. And that ball's hit off the end of the bat. J.D. Wells gives chase in foul territory, makes the catch. Nice catch, over the shoulder catch for the old guy.
I'm not used to seeing Wells at first base. Usually a cornerstone, no pun at second, for these Bucs. 2 down early here for the Logators.
Yeah, it's a foul out to J.D. Wells, and that brings up Drake Signs. He is a junior, going to be a senior this next year at Gustavus.
Look at the lefty here. Off speed, that didn't quite make it to the catcher.
Lang, high school a Tornado graduate. And the pitch, that one's a little off. They're taking a little bit of the, pulling the string, let's pull it that way. And
Signs comes in. This is his 9th game of the season, hitting .323.
that one's fouled straight back. Well, like you mentioned, it's beautiful here. I don't know how I was out for a while today, Joe, and the sun was out, and you'd see it reflecting off cars, and you're wondering if it was street lights or the sun. It was it's just a bizarre night. A nice inning for Lang there as he goes 3 up, 3 down with 2 strikeouts, and we're at the end of 1. We'll come back 0-0 right now. We'll come back for the second inning after this. Well, we're back here for the second inning as Hogan finishes up his warm-up tosses as Matt Merrick will throw it down. I guess we've got one more after this. Joe's on a scouting trip right now, out talking with a couple of scouts that are here. See if we can find out what the velo was. And that one down there, we're ready to start the second inning as we have Charlie Eldridge coming up. Eldridge, the center fielder for the Bucs. Joe, any good information?
Yeah, he asked me not to come down there and talk to him again.
Okay, well that's.
I was surprised. There's security here tonight. He said. But no, he's, one pitch that I was asking about if it was a cutter or what have you, and he said the pitch that looks like a cutter is a slider.
Yeah.
And he gets. We were talking about spin rates, and he gets 3,200 on a spin rate on his slider, which is what they're tracking.
Yeah.
And the slider's coming in at about 84.
Okay.
A fastball, about 91 right now. So
that's faster than you and I can throw probably combined. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you're 46, I'm 45. So.
But that spin rate, that's what you and I were just talking about at the end of the first inning, was the activity on that ball. And I was like, God, is that thing moving? That spin, or is that a cutter? It's explosive.
Yeah,
his fastball is too. It's got some nice late tail on it as well. He strikes out Eldridge.
So J.D. Wells comes up. You can see right here. That's that slider right there. It's just darts across the plate. Comes out looking like a fastball, but 84 miles an hour, boy, that's impressive.
Yeah, and you see so much here with these days talking about spin rate. I conducted a series of interviews, which we'll get out soon, with Louis Varland here this winter at the Twins, and he was talking about the development and some of the tools on developing those spin rates. As you get a look at J.D. Wells playing his college ball at St. John's, just down the road in Collegeville.
He has been the pillar of the Anoka Bucs for, this is his 15th year. Impressive. Oh, look at that.
Hey, the senior player gets out there and gets the bat head out. That was that slider or an off-speed pitch at least, that he just was able to get that bat head out and poke it in the right field. First hit of the night for the Bucs.
Yeah, really nice. A great piece of hitting. Just get, don't try to do too much with it. You know you can't. It's going to be difficult to be able to turn on a 91-mile-an-hour fastball. So he just gets it out, and here comes Garrett Hoffman, the catcher. Hoffman takes a ball down low. Wells, no threat to run.
So we look at enough of a lead, but right now you can just see there's a series of guns and radars here just to track the speed and, of course, that spin rate as well with the technology today.
Yeah, spin rate, that's a term, and another new pitch is the sweeper. As that one comes across and it breaks a little less velo, but a lot more break, up to two feet of break.
Yeah, more of a horizontal.
Yep. Yeah,
right inside. And they talk about the player swings these days and that launch angle, and they feel it's even more effective to be able to have that a pitch sweep across, increase the horizontal movement and activity versus the vertical up and down and movement on it. As you see some of the pitchers kind of making those adjustments, especially this past season. I know Varland's component was working on a slider, a better slider, and he walks, comes inside here this time to Hoffman, the catcher, and also coming up next is Hunter Smith. So he'll get a look. Runners at first and second. A lot of what we saw here in the first inning.
Hunter Smith is the classic slap hitter. He's another one. Just you'll see an at bat somewhat like what J.D. Wells does, where he's going to try to use the entire field, and would not be surprised if that hole between shortstop and third is not his target.
A runner in, number 11. Taking the place of the catcher Hoffman now for the Bucs. And if you're wondering about the wind, none, which is why we still have the smoke in the atmosphere. Ooh, he went on that, or did he say he pulled back?
They said he pulled back, huh? So at number 11, the starting pitcher for the Tornadoes last night, Lewis Hurtling. We'll see a lot of players tonight as to be eligible for postseason. Here comes a pitch to Smith. You have to have 4 games, 4 league games. And nice pitch right on the outside part of the plate. Merrick able to kind of bring that one back. So 1 ball, 1 strike right now.
Outfield straight away.
That one's hit off the end of the bat. And 1 out only. Not hit hard enough to be able to turn 2.
Shortstop there for the Logators made the play and then faked the throw to first, trying to see if he could catch J.D. Wells coming off the bag. But
so that'll be a fielder's choice. And 2 outs now for the Logators. But we flip the lineup back to Shane Vitens. As Pooter there, good decision on Pooter just to be able to eat it. And Hunter Smith leading off first. Runner on third, J.D. Wells. The ball gets away. Here comes Wells. Wells against Merrick. Boy, I tell you what, that's a good hustle play by J.D. Wells for that first run.
Well, let's just say he manufactured that run for the Bucs pretty much on his own, J.D. Wells.
Yeah.
Getting the single, getting the bat head out and lacing their first hit of the night to right field. Maneuvers over the second on the walk. And then on the fielder's choice to third, sees the ball get just by Matt Merrick, which is rare in itself, but the pitcher failed to cover home plate.
And that another strike right there. But Hentz walked in the first inning. He had 2 on. He made it to second. Was stranded there. And that pulls off. I think he was thinking fastball, and that slider that you were talking about, the spin rate right there kind of locked him up. Yes.
Unbelievable there.
You see back there the Brooklyn Park logo on this new stand. The grandstand, the padding around home plate, absolutely gorgeous. Takes the place of that chain link fence that had been there. Hogan trying to put Hentz away. Foul ball by Shane or Zane, and that's he stays alive.
After 11 games this season, the Bucs hitting .377.
An adequate average of .429. Now it gets on for the second time with another walk. And here comes Nate Tillman. Tillman walked again. 2 outs here. We're here in the top of the second inning. 1-0 Anoka Bucs on a wild pitch that got just past Merrick. Matt Merrick, and J.D. Wells sprinted in from third. And that one's hit. That's going to be a tough play. Bruns ups and makes it look easy. Boy, I tell you what, that's a nice play to end the inning. That's a second nice play to end the inning in 2, as Conley was able to make the put out. Bruns, the old veteran, one of the state's leader in hit by pitch. That's one of his calling cards, is he's been hit by the pitch more than anybody in amateur baseball in Minnesota. You see right there, unbelievable, the fog and it's not the smoke really. No, not fog. It's just plain smoke. Beautiful shot from
Taylor, who was hand gliding earlier before the game here and getting us this great shot. He tried it last night at CHS Stadium, but because it was dark, it was a little bit more dangerous. But gotta love the view. You look at the grandstand, the press box. You can see the QCTV truck, and boy, it just doesn't it? It just packages the baseball stadium just right and enhances it. So 1-0 lead. Thanks for that view on that drone, and awesome look.
Yeah, we're talking about the air quality, as you see as we come in and we get to see the new improvements. You can see our center field camera out there by the light standard, and then we come in and absolutely gorgeous. New grandstand, new dugouts, new pitching fences around the bullpens, and they're double barrel bullpens, so you can have 2 pitchers warmed up and walk up. Beautiful. The Brooklyn Park logo, beautiful. And we've had 2 nights now with beautiful venues as Jeff Hoyer, the DH, comes up. Hoyer's hitting for Hogan. Hogan was only scheduled to go 2 innings. Looks like we've got some activity in the Logators bullpen. This one hit out to center field. Lazy fly ball. That's brought in nicely by Eldridge. As Hewer flies out to center field, that brings up Matt Merrick. Austin Lane cruising so far, 4 up, 4 down.
Merrick himself always, there's always a lot of work involved. both JD and Merrick will mention, but both of them get pretty focused, understand it enough, but they also are still active, not only just involved, but
down,
successful. Let's see if this gets down.
And just out of play. Merrick gave it a ride, was sitting on a curveball. And you're absolutely right, Joe. The amount of time that is behind the scenes for both these guys, between fundraising, following up to make sure you've got enough players and you've got the right players, pitch down low. It's a tireless and thankless job at times.
Merrick this season hitting 250, 296 in terms of an on-base percentage, but flipping it back to last year. We'll talk about that season they had last year as well. Last year, Merrick hit 328 and an on-base percentage of 364.
Grounder out to second. Hunter Smith up, gets it over to Wells. Out number 2.
And right now it's Lang who's stymieing this Logator squad, as you mentioned, Jim. A lot of players will be in and out of this game, but a key component of that is they need some playing time, and they need to build some depth in their roster as well.
Yeah, and Bryce Nelson comes up, the second baseman, fastball. That one sails high.
Nelson playing his 9th game this season, hitting .214, 5 stolen bases.
Aaron ball goes back out. Austin Lang able to grab it again. Another nice pitch by Lang.
Hey, you know what? He's keeping it active. Keeping most of those pitches low, which are inducing those ground balls.
That one popped up. That one might be trouble. Coming in as a center fielder, and Eldridge makes the catch. It's the second out of the inning, and Lang again cruises through, up 1-2-3. We are at the end of 2. Logators 0, the Bucs 1. We'll be back for the 3rd inning after this. Welcome back to Noble Park here in Brooklyn Park. A couple of changes out there. Catching now is Ethan Mackey, the Gustavus grad, and on the hill, number 8, Jerry Gooley. Gooley coming in with 11 in the 3rd innings, 11 strikeouts. He has 1 loss, a 5.56 ERA, and he'll take over for Hogan, who had a couple of innings and gave up a 1 run on 1 hit. And now Gooley will come in. Gooley.
Last year, Gooley, 68 innings pitched. You get a look at him, to a record of 8-2 for Gooley. Led the pitchers, leading his team to 2nd place in Class B. He had a whip of 1.24. And the opposing team with a batting average of just .229 against Gooley last season. compare that to the early this season already. He's off to a good start. He's got a whip of 1.94 to get things going early, knocking some rust off and getting at it.
And we have a pinch hitter for the Bucs as Lucas Nelson comes up. And he fouls that one off, a little frustrated because he thinks he had a pitch there.
Get a look at the pitch. We're also joined here by the manager of the Logators, Matt Merrick, and thanks for joining us, Matt.
Yeah, thanks for being out at the park. Thanks for having me up here, Joe. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, you know, that was certainly an interesting first couple of innings, as you could see more radar guns out here taking a look at velo and some of that, and pretty good pitcher on the mound and a good start. So
yeah, it's not too often we we see guns in the stands and too many college coaches here, but with Hogan starting on the mound, he's in the transfer portal at Texas A&M, so I know there's a few schools looking at him. I think he had mentioned Lamar in Texas,
yes.
LSU, the U, University of Minnesota, a couple others. So not surprised to see him around, but yeah.
Good. Looks like Bruns is going to under that one for a second, or the out here in the third inning. But let's talk a little bit. What attributed your success this season to, or last season, that second place finish and the success that you guys had last season? And what would you attribute all of that success to?
Well, obviously it's having good players. Number one. Number two. Especially in amateur ball, in town ball, it's commitment, and we got a good group of guys that are committed. They're here, day in, day out. 80-90% of the time. I don't have to, beg guys to come and play. It's a committed group, and it's a group of guys that have played together in some form or another for a long time, even before they started with us. So.
But you certainly put a great run together and beat some high caliber teams. Of course, Rochester winning it all, but the run that you guys had, certainly in the zones, great pitching, timely hitting. That had to be one heck of a fun run.
Yeah, it's it all came together at the right time. Kind of throughout the season there'd be times where we would struggle to score some runs here and there, but it seemed like the whole tournament we were we're really hitting the ball well. We all three facets of the game, pitching, hitting, defense, all kind of came together at the right time, and that's kind of what it takes to compete for a title and be in the mix for one. And we played really well at the end of the year last year, and hopefully we can do it again this year.
They had a brief shot of us and caught us off guard with a shot during this interview, and we're doing the interview from the press box.
Yep.
What a great venue. Jim and I were just talking before the game about how it just enhances the field and the environment, and boy, it is kind of an exclamation point to the field and in the stadium atmosphere here. It's a heck of a job. And tell me just a little bit more how everything got started and how long it took.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously they did a good job, with this facility, with more work to come too. So
don't we all?
Yeah, right. There was a tax referendum passed in the city in 2018, I think it was. Basically it was a continuation of an existing tax, so the Brooklyn Park residents didn't see a tax increase for it. But yeah, no, it was I think it passed in 2018, if I remember right. It was supposed to be done in 2020 or somewhere in there, but of course COVID hit, materials costs kind of went up, and things kind of got pushed back. And finally it came together last fall and this spring. So.
Yeah, and Steve Thompson, who worked not far from here, was giving me a little play-by-play and taking some pictures as it was underway. And boy, I really enjoy it. It's a great venue and a great setup here.
Yep. It's great. We just played our first game here yesterday. So it's been. It's been great. Just one game so far, but it's been great, and it's going to get. There's a few more things they want to do out here, and it's only going to get better. So.
Well, you've got some talent coming back this year. First, I got to tell you, congrats on that season last year. 330 you hit. and
Didn't feel like it at times,
boy,
but sure.
you labored. I mean, it's tough to catch, tough a spot. And the different pitchers that you were catching and a lot of dig outs. How do you tolerate, how do you put up, what do you do in the off season to get ready for a season like you experienced last year?
Not enough, because I'm feeling it already this year. But yeah, I get some swings in. I actually ref basketball in the winters, so that actually helps a lot with kind of
sure.
Staying in shape and being active and that sort of thing. But yeah, 40 years old, 2 kids, kind of busy too. I definitely don't get to do as much, to prepare as I'd like to. But that's why we got all these young guys on the team, so I don't have to catch every inning. So.
Well, you and J.D. Wells, the manager, there's a fly ball to center field. Hauling that in, controlled, and 2 outs under our belts here in the top half of the third with Gooley pitching. Gooley, one of those pitchers who had an excellent year last year for you, too.
Yeah, and he's been, he's probably been the number 1, number 2 guy in our rotation for, 4 years now. He's a workhorse. He's going to give you 50, 60 innings. He can go deep in games, and just the way he pitches, the style of his pitching, it kind of allows for him to throw more pitches, go deeper into games, that sort of thing. So. And
then of course you've got such a combination, a blend of players. Riola at shortstop out of St. Cloud, and just phenomenal talent. And then you've got Brunn playing third, leading the all-time leader and getting hit by pitches, I believe.
No, I mean, he takes pride in that's for sure. I think he has to walk to go in the book as a hit by pitch, but he didn't fool me when I was doing the stats last night. So.
But I'd say it's just a great chemistry too. What do you do to create that chemistry with, especially as many players coming and going, trying to finish up work, get here, having to step back and take a couple weeks off or something for some other commitments?
Yeah, a big part of it is we try to kind of recruit in cohorts, as I like to call it. We don't want to, we'd rather take 2 or 3 guys from a school, a team, or whatever, as opposed to picking off a single guy here, a single guy there. So I mean, we got a lot of Blaine guys. I mean, there's a lot of these guys that played together through high school, through Little League, through high school, now in town ball. So I mean, the chemistry is just that's where the chemistry comes from, is just the familiarity with everybody on the field at any given time. So
that's great. I was going to talk to the scouts also about 91 on the fastball from Hogan in that first inning, and a spin rate of about 3,200 on that slider.
Yeah, slider was working good today. I know he hasn't thrown in a couple weeks. Right away. We tried to establish the fastball, but it was pretty clear right away they were basically just hunting a fastball, and so we went to more of a slider heavy mix, off speed mix, just because they were just trying to find a fastball. It was what it seemed like. Obviously I couldn't keep that ball in front of me in the second, but we got a long game here. So
Gooley gets the strikeout. If you can hang with us just another half inning,
sure.
If that's okay.
Sure can.
Multitasking over there. For me, multitasking is eating potato chips and having the remote in my hand. For you, it's running the score clock here. Yeah. I actually tried. I've run a bunch of those score clocks, but I looked like an unemployed accountant up there putting up the numbers left and right. I had to spin it up. But that's great. We got the Bucs, and I always enjoy the commitment that both you and J.D. Wells, the manager of the Bucs, the teams, and the commitment, because it's so much work to kind of keep everybody engaged, go through it, play a high level of baseball on top of it, and bring the right players in with that commitment. So enjoy this matchup. I'm glad we're able to bring this on QCTV as well for a couple of reasons. One, a great rivalry with you two, with the two teams, but also a chance to kind of showcase this press box and the teams as well.
Yeah, no, it's this league is, the Metro Minny has gotten, I've been a part of this league this is my 11th year, since 2012, and it's progressively gotten better year in, year out. I mean, it wasn't too long ago that, from the rest of the state's perspective, we were probably the weakest league in our class, and now, we're probably right there, one of the top 2 sections in the league, looking at how teams have improved year in, year out, and especially from this year or last year to this year. Yeah.
You can see Smith trying to dazzle a bit and flash some leather at second base. Came up with the ball, but threw it in the dirt. And got yourself a base runner as Bren steps in. We'll see if he can get a base hit or take a hit here at this at bat.
Well, yeah, we'll see here. I mean, if he's not getting hit, he's swinging out of his shoes. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there.
But it's just such a great representation of the squad, the team, and the youth and the experience combined as Bren steps in here. And which player last season would you say surprised you the most, or one or two players that just really elevated their play that really helped produce the success you had?
Can I say myself for hitting 320 as a 40-year-old?
I'm telling you, I wasn't kidding. I was looking at those numbers. Your on-base percentage was like 390.
Oh, man, yeah. No, I mean, everybody had their moments. And, with this team, it's been, it's somebody, it's not just the Sam Riolo show. It's somebody different every game. You never know who's going to step up and, be the person to, carry the team at, in any given game. And there it is.
Of course.
There it is. Of course.
Oh, my gosh. I got to tell you, he has some similarities to Ron Swanson on Park and Recs as well. And this one, he just...
More than you would know. More than you would know.
Takes that one right in the lower ribs and just kind of went, okay. It's like they threw a wiffle ball at him. So, we say earns his way a pass to first base, first and second, no one out, and Logators are threatening. A bunt, and right back to the pitcher, unfortunately, with no grass out there. It rolls right back to Lang, who gets the force out at third. So they'll reset, runners first and second, and just the one out. Of course, J.D. Wells has scored the lone run so far here in this game. A 1-0 lead for the Bucs. Set up and get a look. In this season, what do you see from players that you're energized about? And there's a good drive to the gap. Is that going to reach the gap? No, tracking it down in center field. A tremendous play by the Bucs center fielder.
Well, that's one guy right there, Andrew Hansen, that's back from, last year. That's really, really been a big part of what we've done so far this year.
16 stolen bases this year
16,
already.
so, he played, he played with us about 6-7 games last year, then went off to independent ball in Colorado and, was kind of done with that and, came back to us this year and, he's been a force at the top of the lineup, getting on base, taking bases, making things happen. So he's been, once, we haven't had him and Sam in the lineup, I think maybe one game out of 14 so far. So, once we start getting them in the lineup consistently together, that's going to be a lot of fun at the top of the lineup. So
there's a drive. They're going to try to hit the gap again, but that's going to be under control. Corralled and the third out in center field as the Logators go down with 2 left on after 3 complete. It's a 1-0 lead here for the Bucs over the Logators. Thanks for joining us, Matt, and good luck the rest of the season.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. Great to be up here, and thanks again for coming out.
Head coach and general manager Matt Merrick joins us. We'll return for the 4th inning after this.
Hey, boss. Okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
You sure?
I said I'm fine.
Hey, son.
Hey, Pop.
You can talk to me.
It's been really, really hard for me.
Welcome back to Noble Field. That was Matt Merrick, the general manager of the Champlin Logators, as we start the top of the fourth inning. Jim Childs along. I'm joined with Joe Ruland as we get ready for the second inning for Cooley as he comes up against J.D. Wells. J.D. Wells singled and scored in that first inning, or in that second inning. Wells, we'll have a chance to listen to him a little later on as well as he starts. And that one hit out in the right field. They are tracking as Stein's able to corral that and bring it in. 2 pitches, 1 out as J.D. Wells takes it. And coming up next will be Grant Hoffman. Hoffman, the catcher, walked in that second inning, was stranded. Actually, was out on a fielder's choice.
Well, that smoke, we'll see what effect that has later on in the game. With
yeah, well, yeah, as that starts to drop, you never know, Joe. That's a good thing to look at. Nice curveball that drops in for a strike. Late call on that one. I didn't know. I thought I had it right, but the umpire confirmed. As we had 1 rip score here, and that ball is high. Hoffman went to Bethany, played down at Bethany Lutheran down in Mankato. Graduated from Anoka. He's a tornado. That pitch high.
Didn't miss by much. And Lang right now, Lang for Anoka was hitting the spots, but you're seeing Gooley as well. Just another lefty just around the plate, constantly around the plate.
That one's a strike. And it's 3-2. The count is full as we get rolling here. Cooley looks in for the sign from Ethan Mackey. And that pitch fouled back close to the truck. I think the truck is protected, Joe. I think it will be a difficult shot to be able to hit the truck here. But, in years past, this was a magnet for those baseballs.
Yeah, we call that truck precious cargo.
Just what's in it.
I would say not too many dings this year. Any of the games I've had, I haven't seen any contact there. Good battle going on here with Hoffman.
Yeah, this is pitch number 8 right now as Gooley looks in. Hoffman takes another walk. That is what they call a quality at bat.
Boy, that's almost twice double up on the word quality at the number of pitches that he forced Gooley to toss, and that'll bring up the experienced second baseman Hunter Smith for the Bucs.
Yeah, so Hertling goes out and he's going to run for Hoffman again as a courtesy runner. Smith grounded to the second baseman and came up on an error as he was safe at first. That pitch.
Smith hitting .217 so far this season.
Like I said, good contact hitter.
Fielder's choice, reached on that fielder's choice in the second inning. Nice bender that time. Not the 3,200 spin rate that you saw from the Logators starter, but it'll take it just the same as a strike.
Hunter Smith ready. He can use all parts of the field. That one tries to go to right field or to the left field. Go Oppo.
And every time you have a left-hander on the mound, there's always 1 or 2 pickoffs a game, is like batteries included. You can always expect to see Hertling out there kind of checking out his moves.
Well, this is his third baseball game in 24 hours. He's there 25 hours. He's been all over the place. CHS Palm Field in St. Anthony today, and now here, slowly making his way back to Anoka.
Tremendous game last night, but also a heartbreaking loss for the Tornadoes.
Yeah, really.
And that loss to Edina.
That one popped up. As good. Second baseman comes over there and makes the catch as Bryce Nelson. You can see Connolly had to go back about 5 steps, and Nelson had about 20 feet and 20 yards. And Connolly said, "You got it."
You got that right. You got that. Okay, I'm just gonna stay close to the base here, home base or first base or my base.
Yeah, 2 down now.
Flips the lineup here, Jim.
Yeah, 2 down as Matens comes back in. He's been on base. Once he had a walk in that first inning, he flew out to the center fielder on a line drive back in the 3rd inning. Hartling looks in. Maki picks that one off the dirt and keeps it in front of him. Bucs up 1-0 on a wild pitch. Ball was in the dirt. Scooted away from Merrick, and good decision and base running by J.D. Wells to try to score. He scores, and that's the only tally so far. There's a pitch, and that one's fouled back by Tents.
Tents is playing in his 9th game, hitting .429 and an on-base percentage of .450. He's reached base on a couple of opportunities earlier. This is 3rd at bat here in the 4th inning under some smoky conditions. Now, I told Jim Erickson we had to change the name of the sun to Smoky earlier in the spring when it was remaining the same piece. It was constant smoke out there.
That one's hit out to Bruns. Bruns makes the adjustment as that ball came down. Nice throw across the diamond. 3 out of 4 innings. Bruns has 3 out of 5 innings. Bruns has ended the inning on a assist, and he does it again with a nice ground out over to Connolly, and the Bucs are out with leaving 1 on.
Well, some say Bruns is out there to absorb the ball when he's at bat and puts a timely hit, but he could play some snappy D out there as well. The hot pocket is where Bruns is at tonight, and usually it when he's in the field. So getting another look here for Lang as he starts the bottom of the 4th. And he's been around the plate, hitting the corners, but doing a great job, not moving it up and down, but just knee high and keeping it there. Look at the first inning here in a recap, and look at that drone look.
Yeah, it's beautiful, yeah.
And that new grandstand, love it. Swung on and missed against us that 1st and 2nd inning. They had to go against not a bad pitcher, a pitcher that was getting chalked and marked at 91 miles an hour on a fastball, 87. That was Robert Hogan, and 84 miles an hour on a slider with a 3,200 spin rate. And there's J.D. Wells, who got the lone hit so far, manufactured his way to 2nd, passed and scored on that pass ball, and that's where we're at 1-0. But continued the way here into the 3rd and exchanged some good D's, and now we're headed to the bottom of the 4th, where it is a 1-0 lead right now for the Bucs.
Drake signs in. He struck out his first time up back in the 1st inning. He is number 3 hitter. In this lineup, to be a 3 hitter, yeah,
you got to have some juice.
Yeah.
Got to have some pop in that bat.
Absolutely.
And Signs this year hitting, getting some at bats under him, hitting .323 and an on-base percentage of .371.
Well, I tell you what's interesting is, they've got, Will Whelan, who we saw pitch in high school recently for Centennial, is part of the Champlin Logators squad. He's actually playing in the Northwoods League, And you think about it, Matt, the Anoka Bucs have 5, and I repeat that, 5 players right now that are playing in college leagues this summer, including Jackson Hauge, and there's a grounder by Maki. Maki gets that is absolutely definition of a senile single. That one could not have been placed any better.
A ground scene.
Well, that was Hewer. I'm sorry. Yep.
Yep, Hewer with that.
Now here comes Maki.
In place of Matt. And, you know, Matt talked about, I was looking at those numbers that Matt hit last year. And those are great at any age, but at 40, that is astounding. Maki, who's hitting. Last year, Ethan Maki hit a pretty good average as well. Maki hit 329.
Well, he had a really nice career down at Gustavus. In fact, I believe it might have been his freshman or sophomore year. He was all MIAC. Legacy Christian Academy and high school. They just finished their season today, I believe.
Logan Piero also part of that school. There's a nice bunt. He'll hold on to it, too close to make the throw, and didn't want to throw it away or give the runner who was almost at second already a chance to advance. That was Hewer, who's already at second.
Well, I tell you what, that was what's impressive is the speed of Nelson. Nelson he's just a little spark plug out there. He's a lot of fun to watch. And excellently placed bunt. As we've got Jack Pooter coming up, center fielder. He was able to get on an error by Hunter Smith back in the 3rd inning.
Pooter this season hitting a 250 clip and a 250 clip and an on base of 294. 7 RBIs, a chance right now to pick up another one.
Pitch outside by Hoffman, able to stay in front of it.
Getting a look here, playing straight away, although short. Kind of leaning more towards second base.
Lang with the pitch, out of the curveball. Nice pitch, and that's a strike. Caught the upper part of the zone. Diving away. Pooter's a good hitter. I mean, we've seen him a number of years at Blaine and out here. Pickoff attempt. And he is in as the ball fell off onto the ground.
Put the tag on, but I really thought he was in anyway, either way. But flashing the tag, and yes, he is in.
Yeah, Tillman. Little trick move, and good pickoff by Lang. Pooter with a strikeout on the curve. I'm sorry, not strikeout, but the strike. Swings through that one. Beautiful curveball that just kind of darted away and landed in the left-handed to the right-handed batter's box. Lane comes set, 2 outs, 2 balls, 2 strikes. That one's fastball outside. Trying to get him to go. That one was about 18 inches outside, however.
You look at the comparison last year, the team, Logators, in 2022 had a team batting average of 299.
Yeah, strikeouts of Pooter. That curveball was a little mystifying and upstairs, and Pooter goes down on strikes, and we have ended the 4th inning with the Anoka Bucs up by on a wild pitch. Scores as J.D. Wells in the 2nd inning. We've got score 1-0, and we'll be back for the 5th inning after this.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Attacks against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders are on the rise.
My simple solution to the problem was remove people from the scene and help them feel safer. In terms of the hate crimes, I think there is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
And we're back here as we start the top of the 5th inning. It is 1-0 as the Anoka Bucs come to bat against Jeff Cooley. Cooley up there in his start of his 3rd inning. Hogan went the first 2, gave up 1 run on a wild pitch, and Cooley has been throwing up goose eggs so far. And coming up for is Tillman. Tillman comes in. He's been on base once. He had a walk in that 1st inning, and then he grounded out to Bruns, in the 3rd inning to end the 3rd inning. Pitch from Cooley. That one a bit outside. He was able to hang up. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Cooley, I hate to use the term, and it's been several years, but the old pitch to contact.
That one's almost a great pick up there by Bruns. Bruns ranging 7 or 8 steps. I don't know if he would have been able to connect it with the throw as he was moving away from the base, but nonetheless keeps the ball in the infield. Tillman on first now, leadoff runner on first.
Gooley, had Gooley already this season. This is he has started 3 games, and now he is starting his 14th inning here of the season. Go ahead, Jim.
So I think we'll give him a hit.
Yes.
No stolen bases yet. That curveball down in the dirt. Nice stop by Maki. Lucas Nelson comes up.
And I think Bruns appreciates you giving him a hit as well. Keep an eye on that runner, see if he...
Bruns and hit, and that seems to be something that we've talked about quite a bit tonight. That ball down and away.
Seeing both teams just trying to get the feel. They're also trying to build chemistry year by year as maybe you lose a couple of players, add some more.
That was a strike right there. Right down the middle, Lucas Nelson takes it. Nelson
already had over 50 at-bats this season, hitting .325.
Another legacy Christian. And that one hit out the second base. Nelson grabs it. Quick fly over to Pooter and is able to get the out. A little physical collision there as Hoffman went hard into that bag. Nelson gets the lead runner, and a tough throw as he threw as he was running away from second base.
Fielder's choice for Nelson, and that brings up Friedenberg.
Friedenberg, who hit one to the base of the left field right by the scoreboard last time up for a double. Strong hitter. The number of years that we've watched him, he has always every game seems to have one hit that hits chain link somewhere. That one hit out into right center field. That's trailing away and coming right in. Looked a little bit farther. Must have been hit off the end of the bat. Or my eyes or the smoke or just my depth perception is off as a nice play by Drake Signs comes in and makes the catch.
I'm glad you told me about that depth perception before you drove me home tonight. Piero steps in here, seeing what he can do and get some magic going here with 2 outs.
That one popped up. Connolly under it and makes the catch. Nelson right behind him as a backup.
Oh, yeah, he was. I got this. What are you doing over here?
Piero with the nice, so let's go through the, if you don't mind, Joe, let's go through the standings for the Minny, the Metro Minny right now as we start play tonight. St. Michael's Saints have a 4-0 record so far. They are undefeated. They've got 7 wins. They've only given up 15 runs in those 7, averaging 10 runs a game. So St. Michael on it. The Logators 3-0. They're in second. Both the Redbirds and Forest Lake are in third place, and then followed by Shoreview, Andover Aces, Anoka Bucs, and the Centennial Cougars. You had mentioned Blaine Fusion. I didn't realize that the Blaine Fusion had disbanded.
They did. So some talent around the community available. Of course, so you see the Bucs there, but also the Andover Aces, led by Kyle Hoppy, hoping to get some things going. I know he's got some pretty good pitching staff as well, or is it Sam? I'm sorry.
Yeah, Sam Plohas is part of it. Is the manager for that. He's really stepped in and done a great job there. And like you said, they've got some talent there and up and coming. And boy, I tell you what, it's the town ball here in the northwest part of the city is absolutely stepping up and a lot of fun to watch.
Well, the funny thing for me was always in college too. A couple of my good friends from St. Cloud State would always play with the Springers. I'd head down to Redwood Falls and play in the southwest part of the state. But the Springers are always a great team. And last year, I'll tell you, 2 years ago, the Bucs took a loss in the state tournament to the Springers. Dave Hinkemeyer, I know well, the manager of the Springers. And then this past season, kind of that tipping point, the swing in which they defeated, the Bucs did, the Springers in that first round of the state tourney. And you kind of start to see that change. The Logators get some mojo going, and they had made a heck of a run, as we discussed with Matt earlier, and end up in second place in the state tourney.
Yeah. It's been great as Bruns up again, tries to lean across the plate. Oh, my word. Did Austin Lang just try to catch that with his bare hand? Well, that's crazy. That's crazy. That'll leave a little sting on it. Let's see if he can throw a strike here. Oh, boy, nice pitch just on the outside part. Just missed.
I'm surprised Bruns didn't lean into that somehow on the outside part of the plate and take the hit. But, hey, we get a chance to be joined right now at J.D. Wells, the manager of the Bucs, and I'm going to turn the headset over to you, J.D.
As we've got Reed Connolly coming up. J.D., welcome to QCTV. We had your counterpart, Matt Maricon, earlier, and he was saying how much he loves and respects you, and thinks that you're, just a counterpart that's been a great partner.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, like, this league is what the managers make it, and it's by far one of the best leagues in the state.
Yeah, well, you've got some talent still on the horizon coming in. You're off to, a kind of a slow start, I guess, when you look at it. We were talking earlier with some one-run losses, but you come in with a 6-5 record. But more importantly, you've got 5 players that are playing in some pretty impressive leagues. And let's start. Kind of tell us a little bit about these guys. Let's start with Jackson Hauge.
Yeah, we got Jackson Hauge. He's playing with the St. Cloud Rocks. He's playing college ball at Mankato State, and then along with him playing at Mankato State, we have Zach Stroh. He's new to the team this year. He hasn't played yet, but he's with the Wilmer Stingers. And then we have Cam Kramer playing with Mankato Moondogs. He's at Nona State. And then we got a couple other guys. We have Zach Romans playing in the league out in South Dakota. And then we also have Tanner Thompson playing out in Virginia. So you got 5 guys playing in pretty good leagues. So.
Yeah, that's pretty. It's amazing. You think about it. Jackson Hauge was, I believe, he was all conference and if not all district. I think for the
the region team. Yes. Yep.
Yeah. The region.
Jackson had a great year this year for them too.
Yeah, and he's done. He's been such a great hitter, and the Anoka, the high talent level that is coming out of the Anoka high school program you have the benefit from. You've got three of the high school players here tonight, including Regan Reeder, who is going to Illinois. It could absolutely help out the squad a little bit as well.
Definitely, yeah. We got Reeder, and then we got like Mason Holstyle. He's going to play some like a college ball next year as well. And then we also have Big Lou, who's going to play college, kind of like a gap year type deal. So
good. Well, we've got the Logators have 2 on here against Lang, and they flip the lineup and bring up Hansen again, Andrew Hansen. So we've got nobody down here. Coach, what would you be doing in the dugout right now?
I would be bunting to get the. Here he goes.
There it is right now. And on cue, did you send a sign down to the Logators for that?
No. I'm watching Matt signs from up here. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, just in this situation, like I said before, like the league's too good to not do this. This guy Batten's a pretty good hitter. He's hitting high 4s right now in the league, but again, a situational piece. You got Speedster and Bruns and Speedster and Reed Connolly on the bases, so fall ball.
Boy. That one came up, and you called that one. His heart, Hansen's heart's beating a little bit more.
Where to get him? Hopefully the
Let's
bat,
see.
not the face. Ooh, might have got the hand, but you got to sell that more.
Yeah.
Now, if that was Bruns, that'd be he sure wore that one.
Yeah, he would have pulled the bat down and just let it hit him right in the chest.
Most definitely.
So hey, listen, this is your 15th year with the Bucs. Impressive. You've been kind of the pillar to the institution here.
Yeah.
We talk about the young kids, but really the culture of the team is wrapped around what you make of it and what some of the long timers, and I don't want to call them old timers because
no, it's fine. You can call us old timers. We're vets. We're grizzled
I called
vets.
you old timers in your first at
bat. Oh, got it. Okay.
So, and by the way, nice single, and what great speed you still have.
Oh, I mean, I don't have speed, but I put the ball in play. Like this year, I've started out hop, and now I got a little slow last probably 5-6 games. Ball's in play, but just on the yak guys. But that's what makes it fun coming to the yard is like getting those hits. So, and the guys that for sure gave me a hard time when I went to home with Merrick. It was 2 old guys trying to like have a short race to home.
Yeah, well, we pulled out the calendar for the
yes, speed.
Stopwatch.
Yes, no, so, definitely for sure.
Hey, well, tell us a little bit about some of the guys that have been with you for a long time now.
So, the veterans, I'd say, still to this day. I mean, we have Taylor Nelson, who I played for the Redbirds for a long time. Came over 3 years ago. Like pretty good friend of mine, but he just decided to play. I couldn't have his first couple of years because the Bucs.
That's driven out to center field. Eldridge is there. Bruns on the tag. He'll make it to third. Connolly will run back and retouch at first. So first and third with 1 out on a long fly ball by Hansen, and that'll bring up Adam
2
Pooter.
outs here.
Yeah, 2 outs. Sorry. Yes.
Looks like we got a pinch hitter.
Yeah, we do.
Derek Heldman.
Derek Heldman will come up. He was initially slated into the lineup, and now comes up as a pinch hitter here for Pooter. As we head in, actually it's for signs. So
that's one thing in the league that I'll say is that all the teams now have so much depth. I mean, it's crazy to see the guys that are like coming off the bench for teams. They'd start on a lot of good teams. So that's a piece that's nice, and that's the part where, as you touched on earlier, we've had like 4 one-run losses this year, and it's because of the league's so good. I mean, it's fun to play though.
Well, you guys made it back to the state tournament. I think that's the second time in 3 years for you guys.
Yeah, no, it's actually the 4 in a row. Matters how.
Yeah, I think they were looking for a balk, and the Connolly is out on. Not trying to get in a rundown, so that'll be it for the Logators. They failed to score. Still 1-0. Can you stick around for a little longer?
Yeah, definitely.
Another half inning.
Sure.
So we'll come back for the top of the 6th inning. Bucs up over the Logators, 1-0.
One of the deadliest mass shootings in U.S. history at Post Nightclub in Orlando.
Walking into the building for the first time after the shooting, it was crippling, but it had to be preserved. If you're an ally of this community, speak out. There are more of us together than apart. It is the power of love in its rawest form.
The death of George Floyd, who died in police custody Monday night.
Turning my pain into purpose is pretty much what I have done to start this foundation. It's going to take more than just us, you know, as a foundation. It's going to take the community, the world, to help us make a change, because it just can't be us.
Okay.
And we had to walk.
Let's take a look at that last out as Lang was able to get the speedster Conley as he slid into second base. Really, Merrick was looking for a balk, was not there. And we've got a new pitcher coming out right now. We got Charlie Hutchinson. He comes in with a 3-1 record. He's got 21 and 2/3 innings pitched. He's only given up 12 hits. He's got 8 walks, 25 strikeouts, a whip of .92, ERA under 1, sub 1, .83. And we're also joined by the manager, coach, CFO, and just all extraordinary good guy, J.D. Wells for the Anoka Bucs. And J.D., you've had some time to go against Hutch. What's he got?
He's got a lot of junk, so he'll throw curveball, changeup, decent fastball, but again, like his out pitch is for sure his curveball. So let's see what he starts off with here.
Strong hit. Now, your schedule coming up. Obviously, you guys are on your way. How many games do you guys have scheduled right now?
We have 30 games scheduled so far. So we're 6-5, as we mentioned earlier. So we're about a third of the way through, but it goes by pretty quick. I mean, we're already mid-June, and it's like, oh boy, we're almost done already. Right time for playoffs almost.
Any tournaments coming up?
Yeah, so we're up in Hinckley. Like next weekend, we play at 10 o'clock up in Hinckley on Saturday, and then if we win, we play at 5, and if we happen to lose, we play at 3. So out there, it's a lot of fun.
Always
up
fun.
at Judd's Pub.
Always fun to have, to have a kind of a getaway a weekend with the team. And
we leave on Friday night, so
okay,
it's one of those things. So like we don't play until Saturday, but we go up there on Friday.
So 10 o'clock is awfully early. So nice shot by
good catch
by Eldridge. And Nelson with the catch. Eldridge, boy, I tell you what, he just glides out in center field. He's done a nice job for you guys.
He's quick. Yeah, I mean, like, we're pretty blessed with him and Chell out in center. Like, when Chell's not here, we got Charlie. But if not, we got, like, pretty good speed out in the outfield. So
the renovations here, this is your first time you've been here since with the renovations, correct?
Yeah, so, it's gorgeous, for sure.
Yeah, and of course, you play at probably one of the classic parks in the Northwest Metro at Castle. You know, as this continues to go, what do you think the popularity of if this adds to the popularity of town ball? Or
definitely, for sure. I mean, that's like the fans to be able to come here, sit in the. I mean, it's basically a mini version of our park. So there's on the big grandstand probably seats, I don't know, 1,000, and we got probably like 500 here tonight. I'm just kidding. We don't have to do it, but someday maybe.
You're an accountant. Well,
yes. I am an accountant by trade, so I'm at math not that good right now.
You just know how to inflate the numbers, right?
Yes, exactly. Cooking the books a little bit.
Yes, there you go. He's my accountant. That's what I need to. As long as it's so coming in, there's 2 outs now as Hutchinson has got a clean inning going so far. JD, what any rivalries that you always kind of get jacked up for as you go through the season?
It's all of them right now. I mean, on Forest Lake, they got a bunch of Blaine guys like been playing full of the this past year, and they're pretty good. Gators, Redbirds. I mean, all the teams in the league. I mean, like I said, they're all pretty stacked. And like for myself, as I kind of mentioned earlier, like before the game, I'm not getting any younger, so I'm guessing there'll be a couple years left of playing most of the games. But then after that, like we'll turn over to the next generation.
Well, that's great. That's great. Hoffman up the catcher, and that one's fouled back. Hoffman, he's been catcher. You've also had, I think, is it Chris Hintz has been a catcher for you for a number of years.
Yep. So that's his brother Chris, but our current catcher is Josh Hintz. But yes.
Josh Hintz. Yeah. Yep.
We used to have 2 brothers, and Ian Walker and Just like that, strike 3.
Yeah, and Hoffman goes down on strikes. And JD, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been great to have you on the broadcast, and we wish you the best of luck for the rest of it. And health and wins are coming your way.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Take care. Thanks.
Thanks, bye.
Well, the Bucs are up by 1. As we head to the bottom of the 6th inning right now. This game is floating right past. You can see right here that pitch to Hoffman. Swung in a miss as Hutchinson comes in with a clean inning. And that pitch, fastball, was just able to get past him. And so, Joe, you had a chance to go out and check out the smoke.
I did, and you know, it's a good thing with that nicotine patch I have that those days are dumb. No, it's I tell you, I love just walking around this environment. I can't tell, it's just the right thing with this press box and packaging this environment. It's great. I had to give JD a hard time about that barreling up and getting the lone hits in that 2nd inning and scoring the lone run on a pass ball. He and Merrick were kind of in a run of demonstration of agility and speed as he got a half step in on Merrick to win that race and get the lone run right now, 1-0 for the Bucs. Also the fact that I know he was involved also with a store that his dad had, and those guys have on Main Street called Green Sports. And I go there often. They have some great equipment and great sporting components, but I had to give him a call out on that. Just his innovativeness. He's a key part of starting that. And then his dad's there most of the time, and you usually see him at Castle Field for the games as well, doing everything, public address and the score. So great to see him as St. John's University graduate, and just how committed he and Matt are as managers, and just also keeping us updated as well in terms of statistical information or just some additional insight, taking the time that allows us to kind of enhance the broadcast. So we are in the bottom of the 6th here.
And that pitch just outside there as that went to Derek Heldman. Heldman, his 2nd at bat.
I stopped on my way back up here because there was a couple wondering, hey, how can I get this game? And I did a little search, got them at QCTV.org on their phone, and it's on live, enjoying it there. And they were watching the Logators last night take home a 12-0 win on behalf of Riola's 3-hitter. And they're here for most of the games.
Well, Riola not playing tonight, but man, he's just an unbelievable player. And that fastball just kind of darts in. Looked like a fastball. So,
hey, the couple here, they don't have, it's not a grandson or a son playing, but they enjoy watching Logators baseball, and they said this is just a great spot with these new stands as well. I asked them for a name, and they wouldn't give me their names. In fact, they took off running at that point.
I was going to say, that's probably not the first time. Oh, we did have it just hit the truck, oh my word. And I thought it was impossible here, but this park is a magnet.
That is a perfect approach shot. You needed the right trajectory to bring it down and get over the top, and that's the first one I've heard hit this season.
Yep. Hoyer comes up. Hoyer pops another one up and past the truck. Not quite around it. But this game is zipping right along. We're into the top of the 6th inning right now.
And you know what? The pitchers are around the plate. Not a lot of walks. There's a swung on and miss, a strikeout there for the Logators.
Hoyer with a K. Had a single last time up. And that was a CNI signal that got right under the glove of Hoffman. As we go to Ethan Mackey.
Even when they miss and laying on that fastball, just barely missed, dotting the eye in the outside corner of that pitch. Just comes right back, right around. Sometimes you see a pitcher that maybe throws some high velo and is all over the place, wonders why he doesn't get some of those strike calls. But when you're around the plate like this, you'll get the calls and you get the hitter swinging.
Well, I think in the years past, someone like a Lang was not the talent level of Lang or a Hogan, just not part of this league. I mean, really. And now these guys know how to pitch. They come in and they're able to throw strikes. These are good hitters too. I mean, you're not going against the in-house team. You're going against some really professional type hitters.
Lang is working his 22nd inning of the season. Just 2 earned runs all season, and he ends on another strikeout. And he's been having those things mount immensely. Had 25 strikeouts coming in tonight, and retires another one here.
I've got 6 strikeouts for him on the night.
31 on the season.
And that's it for the Logators. Logators failed to score here. We'll go to the top of the 7th. And it's 1-0 the Bucs here on QCTV.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama!
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Can I get the now bar, please?
$1.
Have a good one.
Got it.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey.
Let me get a now bar.
Sure. $1.
Appreciate you.
Got it.
Well, welcome back to Noble Park here. We've got a nail biter going on. Charlie Hutchinson finishes up his warm-up tosses as the Bucs will come up. Hunter Smith, and then we'll flip it to the top of the order. Smith so far is 0 for 2. Reached on a fielder's choice, and then there was a fly out, a little pop up to the second baseman, to Nelson. As we get into the 7th, we're getting into nail biting time. We've got 9 outs left for each team. Smith, high school quarterback. That one hit, just off the top of the glove of Adam Pooter.
Pooter tried to climb the ladder, elevate, and go up and get that, but just hit the tip of his glove. And that is going to be marked an error. I'm kidding. A base hit for Smith.
Wow.
Smith just kind of slapped at that pitch, got it high enough, and we'll also get ourselves a pinch runner. That's going to be
Hoheisel.
Hoheisel, who we saw last night pitch at CHS Stadium.
A gutsy performance by him.
Very much, very much. One out away for the Tornadoes last night from advancing, and I hate to keep picking a scab on that, but it's meant in all positivity that they played so well, and 1 out away from closing it up. And
boy, nice recovery by Nelson over to Pooter, and a double play as Conley finishes it off. Nelson, that ball was hit, and it was kind of scurrying away. It was spinning away from him. Nelson stayed down on it, able to make the flip over to Pooter. Pooter with a rocket on the return.
And I can tell you, hey, as a second baseman, it's tough to make that toss. Get that ball, keep your glove down, and rotate that so it's accurate to the shortstop. And that 4.63 evaporates the base runner, and the hit there by Smith, the number 9 hitter, and takes us Now to Nate Tillman.
And Bentense is not slow at all. He's a speedy runner, and getting double off like that is pretty impressive play by the Logators. And here comes Hutch.
Pooter's got some heat on that arm as well. Another strikeout here for Gooley.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Senor. As Hutch finishes off the Tornadoes. It's been 6 up, 6 down for Hutchinson, and we'll go to the bottom of the 7th right here. That pitch, fastball up and away, and Hoffman couldn't slow it down.
And Gooley, hey, you know, he's one of those pitchers that just the more he pitches, you know, the stronger he gets throughout the game. Each inning kind of generates a little bit more mojo for him. As we take a look at the schedules coming up here between innings, it's the 7th inning stretch, and Jim will not be singing, but we will be showing you the Champlin Park Logator schedule coming your way. 6:16, they're going to go play the Springers. And that will be again on the 16th. 17th, they're at Avon. Meanwhile, the 20th, they will host the Conference Division leading St. Michael Saints. And then at Chanhassen, the Redbirds on 6/21, followed by on the 23rd, the Becker Bandits.
What a great venue. That Cold Springs is just an unbelievable venue. And the Bucs, they've got on the 16th, they're going to have the Northwest Oreos, and then got a couple of days off, and then they'll take another league game at home against Shoreview. They'll be up at that tournament in Hinckley for the 24th and 25th, and on the 27th. That'll be a good one. They'll be at the Minnetonka Millers, and Class A, that's a solid squad down there. Be a good challenge for the Bucs as we start here at the bottom of the 7th.
That Hinckley Invitational sounds like it could get a bit crazy. So
you got a 10 o'clock game. They've got a 10 o'clock game. You just, I think you said a 10 o'clock game. If they have a 10 o'clock game, what time do you have to be out of the casino?
Well, you're rolling the dice on that.
Oh,
and
boy,
how the results will go. But a blackjack day out there, and it'll be a great environment for J.D. Wells and the Bucs as we go to the bottom of the 7th here with the Logators. Close in that last inning, almost a balk called, but they did not make that call, and they threw the runner out at second and snuffed out an opportunity there for the Gators to punch out a run against. They scored 12 last night in their win.
Nelson with a swing he didn't mean to, and now he's talking to himself a little bit. He's made a nice couple of plays out at second base when he was with Blaine. Fun to watch as a second baseman, and now at Concordia St. Paul. That ball is hit out the center. This is that one, we lost it immediately. I lost it immediately. Depth perception, Joe. And obviously Eldridge was able to locate it and makes that catch. So one down here.
A good old smoky fly ball to center field here in the bottom of the 7th. And they get a chance now to look at another Pooter. As coming up is Jack. Jack this season. This is 9th game of the season, hitting .250. So he has a few doubles on the season and 7 RBIs as well.
They've got another younger Pooter too that's out there, and that ball is hit out to left field. Long run and a nice catch by Fredenberg. Fredenberg with the put out 2 outs now.
You know, you're really not supposed to be running much here in the smoke. It's a health hazard. When I saw the smoke, I didn't know if they were going to have the game because if they had some concerns about it. They really did detour people from, you know, running outside. When I lived in Denver, they used to have what was called the brown cloud out there. And during a certain amount of days, you would not want to go outside and run.
That ball swing. I've heard recently they still have a brown cloud out there around the downtown area.
Well, Mr. Bruns takes a good cut at that pitch and has found himself on base a couple of times here this evening as he takes a swat at one in the bottom of the 7th.
That one hit foul, a long and loud strike. As Lang has got an 0-2. Lang all the way right now. He's started this game and has pitched a gem. He's given up 2 hits so far.
The season, Ryan Bruns hitting .207, 7 RBIs, and there you go again. His second hit by pitch here tonight.
Yes, yeah.
And that's like a trophy for him. It's
well, I want to say he's got over like 270 or somewhere around in there. I can't remember what his career is, but it's around 270.
And you got to think a reality TV show is just around the corner for Mr. Bruns.
He might be playing in his own mind right now. So
let's see what they can get going here with 2 outs. The Logators.
Reed Connolly comes up. Connolly, St. Cloud State. Joe, he's a Husky just like you.
Yeah.
Saw his
much
dad.
Younger though.
Yeah. Saw his dad who umpires at a playoff game recently. That ball hit into the hole, picked up by Hoffman. Hoffman, plenty of time, able to get it over. And
what a gun!
And Reagan Reeder with that, and Reeder out at first base now. Let's see if he comes up. That'll be it for the Logators as we go to the top of the 8th inning. It's 1-0. Bucs here on QCTV. Welcome back to the Mini Metro Town Ball here as Champlin Logators are down to the Bucs 1-0. And Jim Childs, I'm joined with Joe Rulin here on QCTV. Joe, we've got a new pitcher.
We do. Jack Herring comes in. This is his 4th appearance of the season. He is 1 save on the season, 7 innings pitched thus far in a whip of 1.64, and opponents are currently hitting .259 off of Jack Herring. Well, I really thought, by the way, Jim, we might hear at least some point something from Smokey Robinson coming out of a break.
Yeah, well, cue it in the truck. Here comes Lucas Nelson. Nelson so far with 1 hit. I'm sorry, he's 0 for 3 so far. He's struck out in the first inning, flew out to Bruns, and then had a fielder's choice in the 6th.
Herring last season, by the way, Jim, an ERA of 2.25. Appeared in 16 games through the innings pitch didn't have listed, but I know that he threw an immense amount, had 4 losses and 1 save on the season. But again, a 2.25 ERA, and opponents hit just 194 against him all season. So impressive numbers for Jack Herring last season as he gets this season underway.
And pitch and walk to Nelson. It looked like there was a curveball that Herring threw that went right through the strike zone, but I don't know exactly what we hear. And here comes Trent Fredenberg. Fredenberg, we mentioned in his second at bat, put one right on the base of the fence by the scoreboard. He's 1 for 3 so far. That ball hit off to the right field, and that's foul.
I'm still in awe of the spin rate of 3,200 by the starting pitcher tonight here for the Logators and Robert Hogan. And, you know, I really thought...
Oh, that ball ripped down the line, but it's... Yeah, the spin rate was incredible, and you could see that slider. Even Merrick said that that slider was working so well.
Yeah, they timed it at 84 miles an hour, but yeah, 3,200 on the spin rate, and his fastball at 91 miles an hour.
There's strike 3. That one fastball just came right and shaved the outside corner, puts down Fredenberg, and that'll be the first out of the inning.
I had really thought those radar guns when I came here tonight was the timee running to first, but I guess it's not about Joe tonight. And a strikeout for Fredenberg, bringing up Logan Piero.
I'm sure that you can find some speed guns on the way home in your car. That ball hit out to right field. That one could be trouble, and just foul. And a nice try, right fielder.
We may need to come up with some technology here of how to find a fly ball on a night game in Minnesota and all this smoke. They always have the infrared, but fighting through the smoke, he did a great job of trying to get to that ball.
That was Heldman out there in right field. Piero. Runner on first. That one's by Herring, right past him. Boy, I tell you what, they have a stable of arms here, don't they, Joe? This has been an impressive night for both teams. But the fourth pitcher to work, and that one's ripped out into center field. That one's down for a hit. Yes.
A nice knock there by Piero, and
Nelson will stop at second. So runners on first and second. Eldridge up for the Bucs, trying to scratch out an insurance run here with one down here in the top of the 8th inning against Herring.
Eldridge comes in hitting .229 tonight, and an on-base percentage of .300.
We've seen a bunt for a base hit. That's been dropped right down on the third base line. Brunn's playing back a ways. We'll see if Eldridge tries to drop one. That ball is a strike. Late calls on the strikes.
Eldridge struck out in that second inning. That was his first appearance of the game, but that was going against some pretty good talents in Robert Hogan.
There's that bunt. Thought we were going to see it at one point, and they went for it. 1 ball, 1 strike now, or 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 out. Eldridge, who has done a great job out in center field. Lots of gliding, nice catches. That one's popped right back to the screen.
Getting ready is in the on-deck circle.
I can tell you.
Ready to take some cuts is Reeder. Is that not Reeder?
Looks like Reeder, yep. Herring with the pitch. That one, curveball, hit up. That one's going to be trouble. Long run for some folks, and that one is going to be foul. Pooter, Bruns, both giving chase, and that one perfectly placed. You know, the smell, Joe, it reminds me of s'mores.
Oh, in that case, you mean the scent.
Yes, yes. Well, yeah.
But yeah, it is interesting. That is good. Has that aroma.
Eldridge again fought off that one with a 1-2 curveball that was a little high up in the zone. Was able to push it down the line. Herring with the pitch. That one in the dirt, and strikeouts, and that gives 2 outs. And looks like Reagan Rieger
Is this Rieger's first Bucs at bat of his career?
Yeah, he can't do it during high school season.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think he was playing club ball last year, I believe. Rieger had a big night last night. He did not disappoint. A couple of walks, a double in the gap to drive in a run.
A couple of RBIs, went a couple of hits his first 2 times up at CHS Stadium, a couple of walks. He was 4 for 4 on base, his first 4 at bats. And then his last at bat, he drove one to center, but they were able to track it down.
Throw down by Maki, and Hoffman, no problem getting back in. It was Nelson.
And I can bet, I'm not sure how he hit today, but he's got some good hands to that bat, and he'd like to get at least an insurance run here for his pitcher. It's a nice looking slider.
Yeah, it was, and they did call it a strike. 1-2 right now.
Late movement on that pitch by Herring, and a good look there.
Herring, that well down away. Good look. 2-2 now at the count to Rieger.
Rieger hit 350 this season for the Anoka Tornadoes, close to like 20 RBIs as well.
Not too bad.
No, that's why he's going to go University of Illinois and play baseball. Excellent career with the Tornadoes, and again a great showing the season for the Tornadoes and their high school squad.
That one fouled off. Good defensive swing on that. 2-2 still.
Went down to get that to live to play another pitch. Did Reagan, and I'm sure he would like to produce with a base hit here for his teammates in his first career Bucs at bat here.
Reader, that ball, strike 3. Fastball right on the inside corner. That one's shaved. The inside corner. Herring gets out of trouble. And we go to the bottom of the 8th inning now with the score 1-0, as we'll see who comes out for the Bucs.
Herring strikes out to side in his first inning out. Top half of the 8th, and there you look at final look there. And let's take a look at the broadcast coming up here in the schedule. That's going to be the Anoka concert. Good for Gary, coming your way on the longest day of the year, June 21st. And then Legion Baseball. More visits. Brooklyn Park is at Anoka. And then we've got additional Legion Baseball. That game is on the 22nd and 27th. I'm sorry, Legion Ball. For that, Legion Ball Champlin at Andover. That'll take place on the 27th. And then live and local Champlin. That's on June 28th.
And then just a reminder, we will be there. Joe and I will be at the Fun Fest for the Andover Parade. Fun Fest. That'll be a great time. New pitcher out there. It'll be Shane Vitens. He will take over. He's got 7 innings pitched. He's given up 4 hits, 1 run. Struck out 5. ERA at 1.29. So we've got new pitcher coming in to save the day right now.
That's an impressive outing for Lang.
Yeah, 7 innings, 2 hits.
And I think we had 6 strikeouts for him tonight on that mound. It silenced the bat of the Logators. That speaks volumes. Again, they picked up a 12-0 win last night. Did the Logators.
So Hansen comes up. Hansen rips one into center field. Eldridge giving chase, and it's over. It's at the base of the fence. Eldridge gets it back into the cutoff guy. He's going to 3. Hansen is out. Really a poor decision by Hansen.
That hesitation was he got the barrel head out on that pitch and greeted this Vitens with not a nice greet at all. In fact, took it to the gap, and his hesitation in between second and third cost him, and they just needed base runners there. And with one umpire trying to make that call around here, you got to think if it's close, if that ball is there before the base runner, they typically will call that out. So he gets a double, gets credit for the double, right?
Yeah.
And
that's his third hit, yeah. But unfortunately, that's the double does. You never want to, the old adage, you don't want to have your first or third out be at third base.
Correct.
And that one was, really credit Hunter Smith for being part of that tandem relay where, Eldridge turned around and threw it. Good pickup and a nice rocket arm over as the Bucs are able to get the second out.
And good job at third. I know I say it time and time again, but it's a difference maker to me when you see guys who can field the ball around their feet, around those ankles, and get themselves in position. That was good footwork at third, and the second out of this inning. A grip and rip. Bottom of the eighth here for the Logators.
I believe that's Garrett Hoffman at third base now for the Tens. That one, another strike right there. Well, I tell you what, Zane is not afraid of throwing it right down the meat of the order, or right down the meat of the plate. That he's not afraid of throwing strikes. There you go, strike three. They knew it. Everybody knew it. The umpire hadn't even made the call, and half the Bucs were off the field. Quick bottom of the eighth inning, and hey, we're going back. With a 1-0 lead, we're going to the top of the top of the ninth inning coming up after this here on QCTV. Bucs 1-0.
One of the deadliest mass shootings in U.S. history at Post nightclub in Orlando.
Walking into the building for the first time after the shooting, it was crippling, but it had to be preserved. If you're an ally of this community, speak out. There are more of us together than apart. It is the power of love in its rawest form.
The death of George Floyd, who died in police custody Monday night.
Turning my pain into purpose is pretty much what I have done to start this foundation. It's going to take more than just us, as a foundation. It's going to take the community, the world, to help us make a change, because it just can't be us.
Here we go, exciting ninth inning. We've got a one-run lead as the JD's Wells squad comes up against Herring in his second inning of work.
Struck out the side in his eighth inning performance. And certainly in this first couple of innings, they certainly had the gun and the clocks working with the pitcher for the Logators. Gophers were here, TCU was here, and I just couldn't believe they were interested in my velo that I was throwing on the bullpen in the bullpen session before the game, but apparently they didn't have them pointed at me. But
well, it was impressive, Joe. I know that there were children looking for autographs, and just a great night for you.
I was set last night, Jim. I got to tell you, if I had a foul ball up in that area we were, I was going to sign it and throw it down at a kid. I had the pen ready, and I bet we are in like the utopia of ground ball. I've been there before, walked out of that press box a couple of times, and here comes a foul ball, and I happened to be lucky enough to catch one or two. And I thought, man, this is going to be like the haven for foul balls. And we never got one, but I thought, I just want to catch one, sign it, and I'll kick it back out. This guy ruined the ball, Dad.
I don't know. What's this chicken scratch on here? 1-2 count to Hoffman here. Nobody out here for the Bucs, and that one fouled off. Yeah, it was. You and I were talking off camera, off the production last night, that we almost like that better than Target Field. It's such a cozy, inviting stadium.
I just wish we could have had better outfits for Anoka last night. Tough loss. And
yeah.
talked a little bit with Pete Hayes today, and certainly you hate to end that game on your worst inning of the season, probably in the field, and then just one pitch. Boy, that was a big time home run, though.
Yep, that one hit out into right center field. Pooter coming over, collects it. They're not having any problem with the depth perception and with this, so that'll be one out. Hoffman out. Now Smith will come up.
Smith with a knock his last time up. A screamer just beyond the outstretched glove of the shortstop Pooter for the Logators. The downside is the next hitter up. Hit into that double play. A nice 4-6-3 turn.
Ball outside.
Little roll tide.
Back in the second inning, J.D. Wells scores on a wild pitch by Hogan and gets far enough away from Merrick.
And they were here to see Hogan.
Yeah.
The starting pitcher tonight, Robert Hogan, who some run time at Texas A&M, but in the portal, it's from what I can understand as well. So there's a lot of schools that were here in those first couple of innings. Gunned them at about 91 and a slider at 84. And we talked about the 3,200 spin rate they also tracked on that slider. But it was J.D. Wells who barreled up on a pitch on the outside part of the plate, a slider, and he put a single into right field and then made his way around the base path on fielder's choice and then scored on a pass ball. He actually outran Matt Merrick to the plate. There's a bouncer right back to Herring.
Well, he had a great jump, and you know the experienced guys understand what they can do and what they can't do, and it's not a coach telling them what to do. They've done it for a number of years without a coach, and you can see J.D. Wells taking advantage of a ball that just skipped about 15 feet away from Merrick.
Well, we're gonna see what type of managing Coach Merrick will do here in the bottom of the ninth. If it remains 1-0, Merrick is always one, loves to compete. I still can't believe last year that 328 he hit. That's astounding at the number of bats of almost 100, if not more than that, in his on-base percentage. And what a run last year for this Logators team. And it's not just a one-time run. You've got to, they've got some juice in their approach.
Well, you think about that. You're getting up there. You're catching, and that's not an easy position. It's the heat of the summer. Yeah, Merrick, that's an impressive run. Not only that, you've got to worry about managing the team, paying the umpire, all that.
Well, you got to look at Riola last season, 225 at bats. As a team last year, the Logators, 1,900 at bats, and they hit 299 on the season, 382. In terms of an on-base percentage, and just a great season. Great to see it. And as we always talk about, we kind of like to see those northern teams do well in amateur baseball.
Yep, you're right. You talk about Sam. You're at your alma mater.
Mm-hmm.
He is now in 2 years, and there's a strikeout on Vitens. But in 2 years, he became the all-time home run leader for the St. Cloud State Huskies, which again is just an amazing feat.
He just threw a 3-hitter as well last night in a 12-0 win for the Logators. Punched out little frozen pizza. A nice hook that time by Herring to freeze the hitter. And he's had 4 strikeouts in 2 complete innings as Herring. And now we're going to the bottom of the ninth, and they're going to bring right back Vitens back to the mound. And we'll see what kind of changes, if any, head coach Merrick will make with the Logators. Scheduled to hit, is Hoyer. Hoyer scheduled, and then I think they'll see if there's any changes after that. But I think also set up to take some cuts and still out on that on-deck circle. Warming up is Hoyer. And, gosh, I think it's Maki who's due up second. Yes, it is.
Yeah, so Hoyer will lead off. Good leadoff intense. I believe that's Zach Stroh behind the plate, number 26. But I thought he was not in town. But
Hansen greeted Vitens with his first pitch with a shot to the gap. There's a ground ball to first. They'll shuffle it over to Vitens, and he is there to cover. But that was a shot hit by Hansen. He tried to stretch it into a triple and was tossed out there and gunned down. And then after that, the Logators were retired the rest of that 8th inning. But 1 out here, bottom of the 9th.
Nice play by Reeder, who was able to get in front of that ball and get the assist. 2 outs left right now for the Bucs. Maki has power. That one hit out to right field. And measured.
Looking, swatting away the smoke from the eyes before making that catch. Bringing it in. Nice play by the Bucs right fielder. Down to the last out. I know J.D. Wells is an accountant, but you don't need to be an accountant to tally the score tonight.
Yes, absolutely. As Bryce Nelson comes in again. Nelson, he's a pesky hitter.
Just need a base runner, right? Change the behavior of the pitcher. Find a way to get there. Make him do something different. Get there first.
2-0 count right now for Tense.
Third right now, still playing a little bit back. With the 2 outs and up by 1 run are the Bucs.
And that one outside. 3-0 count right now. He talked about getting a runner on. I think the take will be on. And pitch to Nelson. That one inside. Joe, your call was right on. They needed a runner.
Just get the runner. Yep. And go from there, because you got Pooter coming up here. He's got some juice. He's got a bat.
Dak Pooter with a swing and a miss.
Just watched the first 4 pitches, and then we took a swing, but a low pitch there. So Pooter gets at it again. Another look. Hitting .250 this season.
And we'll have to see if Nelson is a stealing threat.
Certainly is, and that's why get him on. See what you can do to get him to second here. Now 2 strikes on Jack Pooter.
Tense came in the 8th inning, like you had mentioned, 3 up and 3 down. It wasn't easy as that first out was thrown out at third. That one hit out in the right center field. Fredenberg is out there and makes the catch, and the Logators are shut out by the Anoka Bucs. Anoka Bucs gain another victory in the Metro Mini. They go to 2-3, and their overall record up to 7-5. The Logators drop to 9-6. What a great, good ball game. We've seen 2 good ball games in a row, Joe, and this one didn't disappoint. Good pitching matchup tonight.
Good pitching matchups, good fielding, and a timely hitting by J.D. Wells, the manager of the Bucs, who got the hit in the 2nd inning and then came around to score the lone run and give the Bucs a win tonight.
Well, that's it. We appreciate you joining us here for everybody in the truck and out on the field. A great job by the crew tonight. Joe, always a great job by you. You're an all-star, and you know it. And we appreciate, once again, tonight's score. 1-0 for the visiting team, the Bucs. Take it to the Logators, 1-0. We'll be back for Legion Baseball next week. Appreciate your patronage here on QCTV. Have a great night and a great weekend.